Hi, I'm Emma, and I want to share a story that changed my life. A tale of desire, betrayal, and the intoxicating thrill that entwined our lives. I've been married to Mark for 7 years, and while our life appears flawless on the surface, I often felt isolated. My heart yearned for the kind of passion that makes your pulse race and your skin tingle. One evening, as Mark prepared to leave for work, he mentioned the dinner party we were hosting for his friends. I smiled, but inside, a flutter of excitement mixed with dread stirred within me. On the day of the party, Jake, Mark's charming best friend, walked in, and the air crackled with a tantalizing energy. His laughter was infectious, and every playful exchange sent shivers of excitement coursing down my spine. As the weeks passed, Jake began visiting more often, always looking for an excuse to linger. Each shared laugh felt charged with unspoken desire, and every brush of his hand against mine ignited electric waves of anticipation. One sultry evening, with Mark working late, Jake and I found ourselves alone in the dimly lit living room. The tension was thick, and the air buzzed with possibilities. In a moment of boldness, I confided in Jake about my feelings of loneliness and dissatisfaction in my marriage. He listened intently, his eyes darkening with an intense longing that made my heart race. Then, as if drawn by an invisible force, he leaned in, capturing my lips with his. The kiss was intoxicating. Our mouths moved together with a feverish urgency, igniting a fire deep within me. Days later, unable to resist the allure, we met in a secluded park, the setting sun casting a warm glow around us. As we stood close, the world faded away, leaving only our heated breaths and racing hearts. I leaned in, and our lips collided, igniting a wildfire of passion. Jake's hands roamed my back, pulling me closer until our bodies pressed together. The heat radiating between us was almost unbearable, drawing us into a desperate embrace. Our encounters grew more daring, and one evening, we found ourselves hidden in a secluded corner of the park. The sun was setting, casting shadows that wrapped around us like a cloak. I could feel Jake's breath quicken as his fingers found their way under my shirt, tracing the curve of my skin and sending shivers coursing through my body. With a smoldering gaze, he leaned down, kissing a path along my neck, igniting a hunger that consumed us both. In that moment, I surrendered to desire, crossing a line I never thought I would. Our bodies entwined beneath the trees, the thrill of being caught fueling our passion. I could feel the urgency in every kiss as he pressed me against the cool bark of the tree, our breaths mingling in the warm evening air. The rhythm of our movements matched the urgency of our kisses, drowning out thoughts of guilt and shame. It was pure ecstasy, a moment where nothing else mattered except the intoxicating connection we shared. But with every stolen kiss and heated touch, guilt began to creep in, whispering reminders of my love for Mark. Torn between the exhilarating thrill of my affair and the deep connection I had with my husband, I knew I had to end it and focus on my marriage. Returning home that night, I found Mark waiting for me, his concern evident. The weight of my choices crashed down around me, and I broke down, confessing everything. The shock in his eyes was devastating, and I watched as the love I cherished began to fracture. Mark was crushed, the pain of betrayal hitting him like a tidal wave. I saw anger, sadness, and disbelief wash over him as I begged for his forgiveness. I promised it was a mistake, that my love for him was true. But the damage was done, and I could see it in his eyes. Mark needed space to process everything, and I was left grappling with the weight of my actions. Days turned into weeks, and eventually Mark reached out. We began to talk openly about our feelings, and slowly, we started to mend what was broken. But the weight of my secret hung in the air, an unspoken shadow between us. I felt guilty, yet relieved that he remained unaware of the full extent of my infidelity. In quiet moments, I reflected on my choices, wrestling with the conflict of keeping the truth hidden while trying to embrace my love for Mark. the thrill of my encounters with Jake became a bittersweet memory, haunting me as I worked to rebuild our marriage. As time passed, we began to reconnect, sharing laughter and intimate glances. I resolved never to let my loneliness lead me astray again. But deep down, I knew the truth could shatter our world if it ever came to light. So I continued to live in the tension between my past mistakes and hopes for a brighter future, believing that sometimes the secrets we keep can protect the ones we love. For more stories of passion, temptation, and the complexities of love, don't forget to subscribe and follow.